Welcome. We are going to reflect on the teachings of St. John Paul II. Everyone knows that this was a saintly pope and was indeed a prophetic voice of humanity and reconciliation in this age. He left a very big impact to the church. First, let me note that John Paul's legacy is immense. What we are going to do in the next episode is to bring to life part of that legacy, what he lived for, what he taught, what he believed in. We shall look at a number of his teachings, but first on the list is his key challenging messages to the youth and young adults in the International World Youth Days, right from 1985 in Rome to 2005 in Germany. World Youth Days have always been moments of abundant grace to the world. St. John Paul II, Johannes Paulus, his original name Karol Joseph Wojtyla, was born on 18th of May in 1920 in Poland. 84 years later, he passed on back in 2005 in the Vatican City. 1 month after his death, his successor Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI waived the usual 5-year waiting period and allowed review to begin for the cause of his beatification and canonization. 6 years later, he was beatified, and exactly 9 years after his birthday in heaven, he was canonized just recently in 2014. This is a pope who led the church for 26.5 years and the third longest pope in the history of the church after St. Peter and Blessed Pius IV. This is a pope who campaigned against political oppression and was a strong critic to the materialism of the West. This is a pope who fought for human dignity and determined to use of violence. This is a pope who maintained traditional church positions on gender and sexual issues, right to life, artificial contraception, premarital sex through his Vatican teachings. Remember, 1978 is the year he was elected after his predecessor, Pope John Paul I, died after lasting only 33 days in his pontificate. Now look, being traditional in church discipline and yet accepting the Vatican II reforms at the time, he appeared to the cardinals who elected him as someone who could unite a divided church at that time. And of course, it was hoped that his relative youthfulness will attract young people to the church. At last, he turned out as indeed a holy man, a man of conviction and principle, and he really changed the course of history. So as I pointed out earlier, this initial series shall look at John Paul's themes and key teachings during his pontificate. But first, we must begin somewhere. We shall begin with his messages on different occasions of International World Youth Days. Remember, a World Youth Day is not a day at all, but a pilgrimage. They are graceful moments. So feel free to subscribe so as you know when we post the next video on this same pope. But equally important, spend some time in prayer, continuously asking the Holy Spirit on how you can be part of this mission to keep the lasting legacy of Pope St. John Paul II alive in the Catholic Church and the whole world. Remember, you are